how are you able to stroke a check for $100,000 like it's nothing, man? And it's fascinating and how they live and how they respect time and how they value time over money almost.
Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm your host, Shahid Durrani. Today we have with us Steve Griggs. Steve is a top luxury landscape designer who's worked with high net worth clients to create some of the most breathtaking outdoor spaces that you can imagine. But beyond the design, he actually understands something that we talk about a lot on the show, right? Something much deeper, how your environment shapes your mindset, your energy, and even your success. So welcome to our show, Steve.
Glad to be here. I guess you're up in Toronto. I can tell by the accent. I guess you're a hockey fan. I guess you're a hockey fan.
Not really. No, I never got into any kind of sports growing up. So,
but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
I was complaining about the cold in New York, but you told me you got 7 feet of snow, so it's all good.
We had multiple, and for me, it's just each of these experiences enjoyable, right? Because people that when it's too hot, their complaint is too hot. Right?
Yeah.
So you just go with the flow, whatever comes your way. So.
Just go with the flow. So it's cool to be here. Looking forward. I like what you're doing. You've been doing this a while. I see a lot of episodes under your belt. That's good. It's a big commitment on your part. I know it's a lot of work.
No, it's my pleasure. It's great to meet with people like you to share the story and what you have done from the inner world to the outer strategies, and see if we can help people that are out there trying to do the same. But the tendency for people that go into business that is not that great of an experience for most, right? And the major component that I'm very passionate about is the inner world, because when we have the inner world in alignment, then the outer has no chance to bring you down. So that's why I get a chance to meet with wonderful, successful people like yourself. You have been designing these outdoor spaces, which is very intriguing, very unique niche for many successful people. Now, what do you think their approach is to design look at success and wealth accumulation?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I was brought up blue collar, right? My father was a construction worker. We lived okay, but not like I see people live. And I was always amazed at how these people are able to stroke a check like they're paying an electric bill. It always fascinated me. I always learned a lot. What do they do for a living? Like, how do you know? Because that's how we learn. Like, how are you able to stroke a check for $100,000 like it's nothing, man? And it's fascinating and how they live and how they respect time and how they value time over money almost. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd rather pay a premium to get the job done so they can focus on other things. And I noticed that's between the good clients and the bad clients. The good clients they demand a lot, but they always wanted that extra. They didn't want to be bogged down with details. That was your business. They trusted the professional and they let me do my job. And I was always fascinated about in that world and how their mind thinks and all. And I try to learn from every one of my clients as well.
Yeah. And you'll notice there's a nature of abundance underneath that engagement, right?
Yeah. They were never really, they're always frugal. They're frugal. Everybody misunderstands that they just waste money. No, they always watch every dollar. That's how they got to be successful.
They always in the right places.
Yeah. And they valued like their homes, and they valued the homes and how the home, how's the sound? The auto, good, right? And they always valued like a nice living space. That's their sanctuary. And they always take care of their family, and that's the protected environment. That's what I got out of it.
But it's to say, if you as you do one thing, you do everything. It's the same way as these outdoor environments that they create specifically, it has a direct link to how they look at life and success and business in
Correct.
general.
Yes.
They're reading that landscape, the quality that they're seeing in their environment, they're actually putting into their business as well.
Well, they're smart people, right? They said,
Yeah.
I don't want to cut corners. I
Yeah.
want to do the job one time and do it right. So I don't have to fix it every time I have to come back. So they understand the value of quality, right? Not saying just paying outrageous prices. They want to pay a little, they want to pay to have the job done right, have it supervised properly, use materials that are going to last, make sure the contractors aren't cutting corners because they know what's going to happen. If you beat the contractors up too much, you use not quality materials, you're going to be back fixing it. And they don't want to be dealing with that.
What are some misunderstandings when it comes to these luxury landscape designs?
Depends. Luxury. What is luxury? What is luxury, right? To each person, you want to try to develop a space that's comfortable with you. That's luxury. That's luxury. When you walk into your backyard, that's luxury. When I walk into my backyard and I'm like, I feel like I'm on vacation, that's luxury. Whether it's a little tiny swimming pool or it's whatever, to me, that's luxury, right?
Yeah. It's to the person, what's in their heart. Just like in success, one person could feel completely successful when they have brought peace in the world, that they're completely fulfilled and they're just heaven on earth. That's their biggest accomplishment that most people struggle and never achieve it. So for them, that's success. For someone else, it's a Lamborghini.
Yeah, so it's all relative.
Yeah, obviously you must have competitors. What makes you different when it comes to attracting these high-end clients?
What makes me different? They can pick up the phone and they can call me. They have my cell phone. Like I'm not hiding behind the secretary. I'm available. And I think that really sets me apart because they can reach me. Busy people don't want to waste time going around. If they want to get a hold of me, they pick up the phone and they can get a hold of me. That's me and my project managers. So they're busy people. Like they don't want to be, they're not leaving a phone message. They're not going to leave you a phone message. They just want instant. I'm in New York. Very tough market. Very tough market. They're not waiting around. This is not out west, they're busy people. Yeah, it's very aggressive here, right?
So Steve, is there anybody that we would know in the audience of anyone that you could share that you have done this kind of project for? Anybody famous?
The problem with working for those type of people is they want to remain private. That's the downside. That's the downside. That's I respect their privacy.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
No, I get it.
That comes with the turf. And you cannot break that. And very importantly, you don't break that trust. It's just a matter of, hey, that's my public life. That's my public, but this is my home where my family is. And I want to keep it private. I want to keep it private. And I said, no problem. I totally respect that.
So what is the biggest risk you have taken in your business? Something that felt like a gamble at the time, but actually changed everything.
Every day I wake up, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something big.
That I took a risk of building a garden, 34, trying to build a garden 34 stories up on a building in Manhattan in a skyscraper, right? Big risk, big risk. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You can't be afraid. If in business, you can't be afraid to take risk. Every day is a risk.
Yeah. Okay. Was there any moment that you felt that you actually hit rock bottom and you brought yourself up?
Yeah, 2008. I've been doing this for 40 years, right? 2008 in the States, there was the banking crisis hit. Yeah. It was bad. I had a wife, 2 babies, mortgage, and you just cannot quit. Like you hear it sounds very cliche. What are the options? That was one that really stuck out in my head. By doing good jobs for other clients all those years, you can go back to them when you can get a little job from them and get you through it. You want to constantly nurture the old clients and not just do a one-hit wonder and leave, right? So you keep that relationship going so you can always go back to the Rolodex and get some more work from them. That's really has sustained me through the low times as well.
So if you woke up, just imagine if you woke up with absolute no memory of this business and what you were doing, and you got this inspiration to do this landscaping business in today's day and age, what is that one step you would take, the first step you would take to get cash flowing immediately?
Sell, marketing precedes sales, right? So for me, it's getting my name out there,
Cold
calling, knocking on doors, just reaching out, stopping by new construction, just putting it out there, right? By doing a good job in the marketing, sales is easier, right? You don't want to be out there selling when you haven't been doing marketing, right? So the marketing is a constant gardening effort. So when the sales part comes, it's just easier sale, right? That's how if you're just starting out, you got to sell something. Don't sit there on the internet and Google. You got to go out there and work. Find something to do.
Okay. Do you actually create unique type of environments? Someone that comes to you and brings a wish, a dream of something that is very unique in the space. Maybe it's their children's idea of some kind of.
Every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but then we have to have a come to Jesus moment, right? Which is, this is beautiful. I get it. But before we waste each other's time, something like this is going to cost in the range of X and Y, right? That usually, that's a good barometer, right? So that's the starting point. Hey, this is going to cost X and Y. And if they're okay with that, then we proceed to the next step. We start designing it, right? But yeah, it's whatever. Building a swimming pool off of a cliff, man, it's just, every day is and it's not just a challenge of the client, it's a challenge of the environment, the site location. Is it doable? Can it be permitted? It's a whole other bag of tricks that comes along with, can I get this project, right? You deal with the city and the authorities and getting it all approved first.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'll go.
Anything.
Yeah, you'll with.
As long as it's possible.
Yeah, you as long as it's possible. Kind of gives you a little bit of a challenge, right?
Yeah. Challenges are amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now, obviously, great design, great look, but if you step back and look at what the design is really doing, even colors that we look at, what they're doing, they're enticing feelings that we get from what we see. The image goes in our brain, calculate, figure out, a baby, perceive it feels really good. There's this deep intuitiveness when it comes to your environment. How do you exactly tap into knowing what the vision of the client has when it comes to their space, when it comes to that creativity, that intuitiveness that is coming from them? They're transferring that vision to you. How do you go about that?
Just through, again, I've been doing this a very long time, and it comes down to listening, right? You really just want to get a sense of how they're going to use the space. How do they want to feel when they come into the space? I've had people say, I want to feel like I'm at a 5-star resort, right? I've had other clients say, I want to feel like I'm on a retreat in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? They use certain buzzwords to get the feeling what they want it to feel like. And you take those words that they say, and that's what you run with. And then if they say they want it to feel a certain way, relaxing, calm, then I know what kind of plants to use. I know what kind of fragrant flowers to use. I know what kind of water features they need. You know what I'm saying? So it triggers you try to hit all the sensory emotions of somebody.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. You've been in business for a long time, as you mentioned.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. In that experience, is there something that you share with someone in the audience that's starting out, or someone that is pretty much in business for a bit? They're running their day-to-day. Some kind of advice you can give to them of how they can look at their business and then how they could scale it?
When I started, there was no internet. There was none of this. So now you go on, you get bombarded with, wow, how to scale, how to do that. It's crazy. If you're new and you're just starting out,
Your experience from your
my experience would be for someone my advice would be to just say what you're going to say, what you're going to do, what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
When you say you're going to do it.
I like that.
Don't give them excuses. Nobody wants to hear your story. Honor your price, even if you have to take a beating. And then if a plant dies and you're supposed to replace that plant, you go back and replace that plant. I've seen too many guys lose. You do a beautiful job and they don't go back and they don't do a little. Why? Oh, it's in the contract. It's not. That's free advertising. You go back and you say something and you do something that's not even in cover. I just call that marketing. Like that's just
exactly.
So it cost me a few $100 to replace a plant that I didn't have to replace. It helps with your credibility. That would be a biggest tip I can say to scaling. Besides all the other stuff you read on the internet and you hear, but that's the best way. And do it slowly. Everybody wants to go from 0 to 10 million in a year. I haven't figured that out. It's been long, slow, steady climb.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's great advice. You just doing that small extra service that you provide your customer.
Huge.
Are leaving a mark on their.
By the way, that's what they remember. Out of all the work you did, that's the only thing they're going to remember.
This human beings, but it's all about relationships. That's why I love doing this show. Is the relationships that I'm building is my wealth. Because just think about it. From every area in the world, I'm getting to meet people.
How many of these have you done? How many of these have you done?
I think 400.
Yeah, I think it was like over 400. So you've met 400 people that you would have never have met before, that you never would have met before.
No.
And that's why, for me, even too, I was like, why you do the podcast? I like it. From Toronto, I met a guy from Australia. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, it's great. These podcast listeners, even right now, someone's listening, doing their dishes or moving the snow if they're in Canada. But they're literally have something in their ear. They're doing their regular chores. They're getting consumption into their world, into their educated mind with ease. They're hearing two people talk about this stuff, and there's always going to be something that hits them, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute. This is something I can do. Those are the moments that can help them move forward. And it's the law of cause and effect. The more you help others, the better it becomes for you.
It helps. I'm sure when you do these, it helps you as well. Same with me. Just by being on here, it just helps. Just by talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not easy. Like you have to edit this, go back and do this.
Yeah.
When I started doing this, it was like get a little nervous. Now I literally just got out of my truck, ran inside, put a shirt on, a jacket in here. It becomes easier. Giving speeches in class, the more you do it, the more it becomes easier. That's all. Like anything else.
Mm-hmm. And you hear a lot about landscaping businesses when they don't really sell, right? But when they come on the market, the prices are usually in multi-million dollars. Do you know why? What is is it the equipment? Is it the property that's coming with the business? Or there's probably a lot of variables.
So there's a lot of variables. So sometimes when they do those roll-ups, companies buy small. They like to buy companies that have reoccurring revenue.
Yeah.
They like that. Meaning, if you have a lot of snow plowing accounts, if you have a lot of maintenance accounts, if you're a pool business and you open and close a lot of swimming pools, that's reoccurring revenue, right? Yeah. The equipment in all accounts, but if you have real estate in all accounts, but the equipment's the depreciation is a write-off. So it's really they really like that. They really like that reoccurring revenue.
So basically the customer list, but also the dynamics of the customer list because it's bringing in revenues on a monthly basis.
Yeah, they like that. Don't just give them a list of potential clients. They want they want contracts. I have a 5-year snow plowing contract. That's worth money.
With the city or whatever,
that's worth a lot more money than your fancy.
Getting that is difficult, but that's why you buy a business, because they have already found where you need to get.
You see, I'm in a different situation. I'm only as good as my last job, right? That's why for me, to keep building the brand and the equity in the brand, that's really all I have. I don't have lawn mowers. I don't have big trucks. I'm building my brand for my name, right? That's all I really got. So what's that worth? I don't know, but I'm banking on it. Again, it's marketing. It's marketing, right? It's so the more I do, the more I do marketing, and the more I do all this, it just raises the account, raises the credibility of my brand.
Yeah. No, definitely. The more people will see you, and the podcasts are amazing because you're getting into their ears, to their heart. They never knew you before, like you said. So it's wonderful that you're doing these kind of podcast tours. They will make an impact. But from what I'm hearing, I do feel, I'm not sure if this is true, but are you planning an exit?
I'm 65, right? So no, I think for me, it's like I don't play golf. Like I really think so. I'm trying to be great, right? I want to be great at whatever that is. So to me, being great, you're always evolving. So I don't know. Maybe if somebody came along and said, "Hey, I'll pay you X, but I'll do something else." Like I'm always trying to evolve. And now we're looking into, hey, how can I take this Instagram and this social media and how I'm working on a couple of brand deals and more collaborations. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. No, definitely.
It's definitely changing.
So you have a funnel in place? Do you have a sales funnel in your...
We get a lot of referrals. We have the Instagram.
But you're not doing ads.
I've tried the ads. It just seems to me for me, I'm going to say I'm going to go all in on the podcasting. I'm going to go in on the social media because what's happened is just to know it went from, hey, can you come give me an estimate, right, to, hey, I've seen you on social. I know your work. I want to work with you. Big difference.
Yeah.
I've seen that shift in the last few years where
it's the so
instead of being the hunting and the hunter, I'm becoming the hunted or whatever, right? So it makes it easier. And that's marketing, right? That's marketing. It's just marketing.
I agree. Yeah. You're building a garden instead of chasing butterflies.
Yes. Trust me, I've chased a lot of butterflies.
Yeah, I wasted most of my life chasing and then it doesn't work. Anyways, I appreciate you, man. It was great talking to you. It sounds like you're doing great things.
No, keep up the good work with the podcast. Again, like it's 400 episodes is huge because I know it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work being here. And from your end of it, it's a lot of work. And you just
from my 2 cents, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for saying that. I honestly don't look at it as work at all. It's effortless action. I don't look at it as anything. I just go moment to moment, whatever comes in that experience. I just go all in with it.
Just go all in, right?
Yeah, just giving my heart as much as I can and then see what happens.
Again, like once you get this episode, you'll send me the link. I'll share it on my stuff. And that's how you just keep it rolling. Slow and steady, right? Slow and steady.
It's that snowball effect in this tour that you're doing. You're not just getting your message out to communities. You're at the same time, you're building a relationship. For me and you, I feel good about what you're doing. And I already got to meet you. I understand what you're doing. And you came through a referral. So I know about you. I've looked at your stuff online. It's built some kind of trust between us. So now what happens is, as we build this relationship, as we're collaborating, helping promote this episode, there's going to be situations where a lot of people don't realize this because putting this extra effort in with the host is highly valuable. They're just trying to get in as many episodes as they want, but they're missing this crucial part because when they build this relationship with the podcast host, now this podcast host does have a lot of power, you could say, when it comes to lead gen. They're meeting so many people. They could bring up, hey, you got a fantastic house. You could become a connector from their heart. You just each other right now. All that dynamics is shifting. Now you're not just looking at it just by episodes going up. Now you have this guy meeting these people that's going to bring up conversations because you left an impression on you. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's because I don't even know what to do with these. Like we get the recording, we share it, but like I don't know. Like I'm probably not leveraging it as much as I should, but I don't. Again, I just do it. You're right. You make the connection.
We can talk about that. Yeah, well, definitely, Steve.
Yeah,
thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stay in touch.
You got it.
Okay.
Girl.